Guys, things in DC are just getting way too weird, way too perverse. So today, we are going to take a little break. We're going to talk about how Katy Perry is being accused of finger banging somebody's boobs and rubbing her hoo-ha on somebody's face. Refreshing, isn't it? Refreshing. No, but like seriously, guys, as I was putting this episode together, I was just realizing how it seems like Hollywood and politics, specifically politics on the right, get closer and closer every single day. Like maybe this right here is the real horseshoe theory. Like we have drama that rivals drunk, angry housewives on Bravo. Like Megyn Kelly and Mark Levin tweeting about micropenises, or Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson's social media teams like having a meme war with each other. And also, even worse, it just seems like every single day there is a new story about sexual transgressions and misconduct, the perversions of people in government. Like right before I sat down to write this episode, I saw a TikTok of Ashley St. Clair, that's Elon Musk's baby mama, former MAGA baddie, that accusing Madison Cawthorn of sexual harassment, which maybe it's just me, but I feel like, again, kind of another open secret. That's kind of like, haven't we already heard that story before? I don't know, maybe we can talk about that later. But then that wasn't all, of course, because the horrors persist. They continue, they get worse every single day. And so then I saw a post about some rumor that Representative Ruben Gallego, he's the one who is best friends with Eric Swalwell, that apparently they had a threesome on Ruben's wedding night. Like, it's just... like, is this DC or is it a Vanity Fair after party? Are these the people that are upholding the esteemed values that our founding fathers fought for? Or are we simply just living in the middle of a gross euphoria episode? Like, that is genuinely what I think every single day. So needless to say, I think we need a bit of a detour. Let's just talk about Katy Perry, because obviously that's going to be a lot less sexual. Or not. Anyway, before we get into this, make sure that you like this episode, subscribe to the channel if you've not already, and of course, ring that notification bell if you want to stay up to date on every single thing we're uploading on The Brett Cooper Show. All right, so in my opinion, and this might be a hot take, and I've almost made TikToks about this, and I was like, I don't know, but I have been feeling like Katy Perry has been having a comeback. And I know, I spent hours mocking her last year after she became an astronaut, all of that stuff, after making an absolute meme of herself on that feminist space mission with Jeff Bezos' wife. She came back down to earth, literally, and she started dating Justin Trudeau. And I hate to say it, but that kind of makes sense to me. Like, I kind of get the relationship, and in my opinion, they are a perfect match, and it has made her better and more relevant than ever before. Like, suddenly, he's taking her to the World Economic Forum. She's like dressed in these beautiful pantsuits. They're going to Coachella together. They're posting cute little selfies and going to brunch. Justin Trudeau's son is going on podcasts being like, they're wonderful together. Like, it just makes sense. They're both, if I could like explain it, they both feel like the perfect embodiment of the liberalism that took hold in the 2010s. Like, she was a feminist, he was an ally. Can I make it any more obvious? Sorry, had to. Anyway, but they are both like peak millennial liberal cringe. It's like a different genre of Taylor and Travis. And to make it even better, and this kind of ties into what we're talking about today, but they both have very storied pasts. Like, you know, Justin Trudeau in politics, he did blackface, if you know, you know, and she allegedly sued nuns and a dying veteran over real estate deals, and she has apparently a history of groping her fellow celebrities. Maybe she should run for office, that's all I'm saying. Anyway, so I've been feeling like Katy Perry has been like coming back into relevance, her songs have been going viral on TikTok, and then boom! Now, all of that comeback progress could be hindered by this story. And this latest story is a lot more insane, allegedly, than groping. And it all started last weekend at Coachella. So, if you didn't know, Katy Perry, Justin Trudeau, they were at Coachella weekend one. And she essentially vlogged their entire experience watching Bieber perform. She had the phone out. She and Justin, you know, he had like the backwards hat on. They were canoodling and watching Justin sing, the whole thing. And a lot of those clips went viral. So, the magazine Complex was posting about this and sharing some of her funny quotes from these videos, which you can see here in this post on Threads. And then out of literally nowhere, no rhyme or reason, somebody named Ruby Rose jumps into the comment section. Now, I personally, and this might be me showing my age, but I had no idea who this woman was. Like, I've heard the name Ruby Rose thrown around, would not have been able to pick this woman out in a crowd. For the entire day that I was trying to track the story, I thought that we were talking about Amber Rose. And I was like, girl, you should have talked about this in your RNC speech. Like, that would have been far more interesting, and then I realized this was totally somebody else. And according to my Google search, she is an Australian queer icon. She is a queer icon. That is her job description. She's an actress, artist, singer, DJ, all of the things, but apparently it's easier to sum it all up as just being a queer icon. You know, I didn't know that that was a job option, but good to know now. Anyway, moving on from that, she jumps into the comment section and she drops this bombshell. So she writes, Katy Perry sexually assaulted me at Spice Market nightclub in Melbourne. Who gives a shit what she thinks? Like, excuse me, you can't just post that on a random thing and just move on. And so immediately people start screenshotting, they start replying, they start saying like, what do you mean? You need to explain. I mean, in my opinion, I'm watching all of this unfold and I genuinely feel like the world is going up in flames. Like this is just one more thing that I cannot keep track of in my brain. Like I am hearing about Swalwell. I am hearing excerpts from RFK Jr.'s diary about how he has to fight lust demons. I'm seeing these TikToks about Madison Cawthorn grabbing the inner thighs of women taking photos of their butts at work. Like seriously, like, and then suddenly I'm smacked in the face with this story. Now, speaking of being smacked in the face, you need to hear what Ruby Rose is specifically accusing Katy Perry of, because this is when I was just like, I'm out. Like, I cannot take any of this anymore. So she says she kissed a girl and you didn't like it. And she goes, she didn't kiss me. She saw me resting on my best friend's lap to avoid her, bent down, pulled her underwear to the side, and rubbed her disgusting vagina on my face until my eyes snapped open and I projectile vomited on her. Like, what the actual F did we just read? Like, is this real life? Because it seems like a scene out of the gay porno that they shot in the congressional hearing room, if you catch my drift, because of how insane this is. Like again, people were just gobsmacked. It was like, okay, this is not what we expected to be watching unfold at all. It took on a life of its own. It blew up, rightfully so, because if this is true, it is horrifying. It is disgusting, gross, obviously inappropriate behavior. But people online were also quick to point out that this story did happen 20 years ago. So why now? Why are you just unloading all of this on Threads? Why, in the comment section of a random article about Justin Bieber, are you deciding to drop this ginormous, disgusting bomb? Especially because, allegedly, Ruby Rose, the queer icon, has a history of making up stories about people or randomly bringing them to light whenever they are having a moment, whenever it might be advantageous to her. For example, when Nicki Minaj earlier this year got involved in conservative politics, suddenly Ruby went from posting, a year and a half ago about how Nicki Minaj was lovely, she loved touring with her, she's been a great collaborator, to then posting that she was a narcissistic asshole the week after she met JD Vance. Convenient, is all I'm saying. Now, on top of that, when she was starring in the Batwoman TV show, she accused her co-star of verbal abuse. She accused the chairman of Warner Brothers of harassing women. She's called Sydney Sweeney a homophobic cretin. She also accused conservative commentator who was in Hollywood years ago, Jillian Michaels, of trapping her at her home, saying that she was afraid that Jillian was going to put her in a blender and turn her into protein powder. And this was all after Jillian came out as MAGA. So then she is like releasing all of this information, like, call me crazy. But I am starting to see a pattern here. Like Ruby Rose, the call is coming from inside the house and it is coming from my friends over at Pure Talk. Now, you might not know, but my wireless company, Pure Talk, is veteran-led, and they have donated over $1 million to America's Warrior Partnership, which is a fantastic organization that is on the front lines of preventing veteran suicide. Now, not only that, Pure Talk is creating American jobs with a US-only workforce. And of course, it would be so much cheaper and easier for them to send jobs overseas like so many other companies do, but they are truly committed to delivering the best experience possible for their customers and supporting our veterans and our employees here in America. And yes, on top of all of that, I love Pure Talk service. They give you the same towers, the same network, the same 5G coverage as one of the big guys, but for a fraction of the price. I choose to do business with a company who shares my values of supporting veterans every single day and creating American jobs, boosting our economy, and you should too. Plus, the service is just incredible. So just go to puretalk.com/Cooper to switch to Pure Talk. Again, that is puretalk.com/Cooper to switch to my wireless company, America's wireless company, Pure Talk. And once you get switched over, then you need to call my friends over at Helix. Now, I am simply obsessed with my Helix mattress. I've said it before as well, but the only person who might be more obsessed with the Helix mattress is my baby. He loves it. He sleeps best when he is in our bed on that Helix mattress. Now, Helix Sleep makes premium mattresses and bedding customized to fit your personal needs. And there are different options for side, stomach, and back sleepers, and they conveniently ship everything right to your door. The Helix lineup offers 20 plus unique mattresses to choose from, a variety of mattress toppers, and ways to upgrade your mattress with premium cooling options, and so much more. Helix truly has a sleep solution for just about everyone. Plus, Helix is the most awarded mattress brand out there from companies like Forbes and Wired, and the Happy with Helix guarantee offers a risk-free customer-first experience designed to ensure that you are completely satisfied with your new mattress, which I know you will be. You are going to love it. So if you are ready to make the switch, go to helixsleep.com/Brett for 20% off site-wide, which is an amazing deal, and it is exclusive for viewers of The Brett Cooper Show. Again, that is helixsleep.com/Brett for the best sleep of your life. Just trust me on this. All right, so back to the point with Ruby Rose. Needless to say, she has a history, and I was not the only person who noticed that. So it was very understandable for people to start commenting things like this. Somebody said, "It seems like you've been assaulted by everyone in the industry. Have you ever thought about going to the police? Crazy idea, crazy idea." And then this is how she responded. She said, "Yeah, I'm not interested in filing a report over this. Not when I haven't even filed a report for numerous rapes at the hands of grown men. But she is more than welcome to sue me. She won't because it happened. And I have photos, and it was literally in public and witnessed by multiple people. Plus, there is so much more that happened in the years leading up to her silly song that she won't want me discussing. The psychological manipulation was strong with that one. But hey, she wrote and signed letters of recommendation for my US visa application in the 2010s, so there's that." So she's not interested. She's been raped so many times, harassed so many times, she just can't even keep track, so she's not gonna go to the police with any of this. However, I'm guessing that after just a few too many of these comments of people being like, okay, well, this is really gross if this happened, we should try to get some accountability, well, apparently now, 20 years later, Ruby Rose is taking it seriously, and she officially went to the police. So somebody said, "So you have the balls to make the accusations, but not enough of them to file a report? If you did, you could stop others from potentially being victimized by her as well. That is, if it even actually happened in the first place." And then Ruby responds and goes, "Just left the police station." So it seems like all of these accusations caught up with her. People were saying, "We're not interested in this anymore. You have like dangled the carrot in front of our faces. Nothing has ever happened before." And so she finally went and did it. And that has been confirmed by the Australian police. They are now looking into this incident from 20 years ago. Now, obviously, Katy Perry, probably still hungover from Coachella, canoodling with Trudeau, she leapt into action and she denied all of this. So her team put out a statement and they said the allegations being circulated on social media by Ruby Rose about Katy Perry are not only categorically false, they are dangerous, reckless lies. Miss Rose has a well-documented history of making serious public allegations on social media against various individuals, claims that have been repeatedly denied by those named. And so now, at this point, everybody is involved because obviously this is just so insane. It is so out of left field. Everyone is investigating. The club owner, where they were, where this allegedly happened from 20 years ago, confirmed that yes, they were both there. They had too much to drink. They were actually escorted out of the back. Apparently, prior to even getting to that club, Katy and Ruby Rose had crashed a prom earlier in the evening, and so TMZ found that footage. People are zooming in on all their outfits and the photos of them at the club, trying to see if they can spot any of that projectile vomiting. I mean, again, this has totally taken on a life of its own. Now, I do want to say that even though people are not quick to believe Ruby Rose these days, they also aren't quick to think that Katy Perry is totally innocent, that this is something that she would not have done, because videos of her crossing boundaries throughout the years with her fellow celebrities are now going viral. Just take a look at this.
From groping Justin Bieber, Shawn Mendes.
Are you staying hydrated and are you carbo loading?
Someone was just touching my butt. I don't know. Oh, sorry.
Do not touch his butt.
Oh, it's Katy Perry was touching my butt.
That's okay.
To flirting with an 18-year-old Bo Burnham.
Okay, I totally can't wait for this next performer. He's funny, he's filthy, and he's gotten over 20 million views on his YouTube, and he's only 18 years old. Thank God you're 18 at least. He's here to play his world premiere of his new song. Welcome to YouTube. Come on, everybody, make some noise for Bo Burnham!
Thank you, Mrs. Perry.
That's just what we have on video. Katy Perry's co-star Josh Kloss on the music video Teenage Dream spoke out and accused Perry of exposing his privates to people at a party. He was quoted saying, "She pulled my Adidas sweats and underwear out as far as she could to show a couple of her guy friends and the crowd around us my privates." He went on to say, "Can you imagine how pathetic and embarrassed I felt?"
I know Katy Perry was tweeting you too, saying she wants to get a hold of that or something. Yeah. I mean,
it was a crazy night. I've never been around so many. Katy Perry finger banged my cleavage. It was a weird night.
Katy Perry finger banged Anna Kendrick's boobs. Like, that is the most insane statement. But also, like, I'm watching all of these videos and these TikToks, and I'm not even surprised. Like, this is the woman who made a career off of singing about kissing a girl and liking it. Like, maybe she released a song about groping Justin Bieber and we all missed it. But, like, regardless, it seems like this woman has always been a bit much. Like, if she were a man, she would have been canceled long ago for this behavior. Like, if she was a man walking up behind women, groping them on red carpets, grabbing Justin Bieber's butt, tweeting at 17-year-olds saying that she wanted to get a piece of that, like, again, she would have been canceled. However, if she were a man in Congress, they probably still would be protecting her. Just saying. Anyway, sorry. The point here that I'm trying to make is that number one, Hollywood is very similar to DC now. Like, the two are just intermingling, but also two things can be true. Ruby Rose is the girl who cried wolf, and Katy Perry might be out of her mind and not know any boundaries whatsoever. And while because of that, you know, the internet is not rushing to defend feminist astronaut Katy Perry, they certainly aren't taking the side of the queer icon either. Like, somebody commented and said, this denial was quick and strong. Ruby has a track record of throwing out serious accusations like this against multiple people that get denied every time. Timing feels way off too. 20 years later, right after some viral Coachella stuff, smells like clout chasing more than anything else. Somebody else said, Ruby Rose has had public feuds and reputation issues in the industry before. Not saying it's impossible, but the story sounds too extreme, almost unbelievable to be honest. And I just have to say, this kind of common sense, this nuance, it's more about the nuance, is so refreshing after years and years of the Me Too movement. And granted, that was more about shaming men than actually seeking any kind of accountability, but for years, people were accused right and left and their lives were destroyed with little to no investigation or tact or care. And now thanks to brave people like Johnny Depp, who actually fought back, actually 4 years ago exactly was when that trial took place, which is crazy. People like Justin Baldoni, who continues to fight to clear his name against Blake Lively. I think people have finally woken up. They are looking at these stories with nuance. They are looking at the context. They are looking at the time frame. They are looking at when these accusations are levied. All of that is important to consider. So I'm sorry, Ruby Rose, but you do not get to claim that you have been harassed by every single individual in the industry just so that you can try to regain some relevance as your queer icon. And yes, like Katy Perry, she might be a weirdo. She obviously has a storied past. She deserves to be called out for this behavior, especially if this disgusting thing happened. But Ruby Rose, your track record is certainly not compelling. And so if the internet, if the authorities in Australia do not believe you, if the Australian authorities are not wanting to jump into this investigation 20 years later, that's why. So I will save you the breath. This is not a homophobic system against you. It is just you. So, all right, now that we have handled the Hollywood perversions, we can now turn our attention back to Washington, D.C. Oh, joy. I'm sure there'll be another story for us to cover tomorrow.